Hey guys, what's going on? John Bracetta coming at you from Best of the Best Family Martial Arts and Fitness, and just been talking a lot about confidence with a lot of people lately. And I thought I would just come at you guys with a quick video talking about my thoughts on it. Not that they may matter to you or they may not, but if you take a second to watch this video, I hope you guys get something from it. If you feel free to leave me a comment or shoot me a message if you have any questions or if you'd love to talk. I always love networking with people and hearing their stories and where they're coming from with the topic of confidence, because whether you're a kid or you're an adult, it's a big deal, and not many people know where it comes from or how to obtain it. And that's a big thing that I think affects how well people do in their lives, not only financially in terms of their job, but also with their relationships, and how they feel about themselves plays a factor in how you perform and treat people on a daily basis. So I hope that you guys enjoy a little bit of my thoughts on this. Before we even get started, I have like a quick story about myself, because I sometimes have doubted myself, and it takes me back to when I was training for a cage fight a couple of years ago, and I was on my way to train at another gym with a bunch of different guys I never trained with before, and I was telling Rachel, my fiance, about how I was like, a little intimidated. I was nervous. I was worried I was going to get hurt. I was worried I was going to look bad. I was worried, about, just, whatever, everybody knows, it's intimidating to fight. I don't care if you're, a professional fighter or you're not, everybody has, the jitters or whatever it is before they step into the ring or before they compete, period. And that was something that was holding me back that evening. And I expressed that to Rachel, and, and then I got there, and, it was surprising because I did phenomenal. I was landing my shots, I was moving, I was sharp, I was strong. These kids had nothing on me. They couldn't match my footwork. They couldn't stick with my speed. And the moral of that story is, like, before I even got there and saw what they were capable of, or even stepped in the ring and tagged their gloves, I was already beating myself. I was already losing because of the mindset that I had. I was like, oh, I don't know, am I going to be good enough? Am I? And that's the big thing that can hold people back. It's like, am I good enough? And that's why I wanted to talk to you guys about this, because I feel like whether you're a kid or an adult, confidence is a big issue. And, you hear a lot of kids talk about it these days with bullying and things like that. And it's more prevalent, being a kid, because it's easier to discuss your confidence when you're a kid to your parents and so on and so forth. And whereas you're an adult, it's like, oh, you're supposed to be confident already. You're supposed to be this. And that's not true. You know what I mean? And like I was saying earlier, confidence affects the way you live your life on a daily basis. And like I said, I was intimidating, I was nervous, but getting out there and putting myself out there and seeing what I was capable of gave me even more confidence than I had before. And most people think that failure is inevitable when they get started with something. They're scared of failure. They're scared to start something because they're already setting themselves up that, oh, I can't do it, you know what I mean? Or, oh, that's going to be too hard. I'm too old to get started, or I'll never be able to look like that person, or this or that. And they're already beating themselves up. They're already tearing away at their own confidence before they even set out to do it. And how do you know what you're capable of until you get out there and do it? And that's a big thing. Most people don't try anything because they're scared of those reasons that I just said. But you'll be amazed at what you're capable of, because everybody has greatness inside of them, but not everybody works hard enough and digs deep enough to find it and pull it out, because they're just nervous, they're scared. And that doesn't mean you're a bad person, but there's ways to develop that. There's ways to develop your confidence. I mean, sadly, it can't be picked up off a tree, and somebody can't just give it to you. It doesn't matter how many people tell you that you're amazing and you're great and you're this and you're that. If you don't believe it yourself, then you know what? It doesn't matter what they say, because you have to believe it in your heart when you wake up every morning and you look in the mirror. So, if I had one thing to say about confidence, one tip, to get started with would be get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Constantly challenge yourself and whatever it is you're trying to get better at. Don't focus on your weaknesses, because that's what most people do, and that's why they never set out to do anything, because they're already worried about what they can't do. Focus on what you can do, and then develop that even more. What are you good at? What do you like to do? And then take active steps towards that. And that's going to bring you to my next one. But again, the first thing is get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Challenge yourself. If you're not constantly challenging yourself, you're limiting yourself, which takes you to my next bullet point, which would be set goals. You have to have direction. You want to lose 10 pounds? Okay, cool, great. That's your goal, and then figure out what you're going to do to get there. And it's the little steps. It's not going to happen in one day. It's not going to happen maybe in 1 week, but it will happen if you set that goal and you actively work towards it, which would be my next bullet point. Because if you're not actively working towards it, then there is no direction. So again, that goal doesn't matter if you're not actively working towards it. And be consistent. That's the third one. Be consistent with your efforts. Don't give up after the first day. If you had a bad day, don't worry about it, because tomorrow's another one. It's that mindset that you have that is going to also set you up for success, knowing that, you know what, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to learn from whatever mistake I made, and I'm going to make it better the next day, because every day is a chance to get better. I constantly tell the kids in my martial arts class that every day we want to be 1% better than we were yesterday. And could you imagine if every day for a year we were 1% better than yesterday? Because we'll be 365 times better than we are today. And 1% doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't, but it adds up every single day. And that's what we want to have, is that compound effect of confidence. Every day we're focusing on something to make us better, something to make us happier, something to further ourselves. And when you have those goals and you're consistently working towards those goals, you're going to see that confidence develop before your eyes, because you are doing the work. Nobody else is doing it for you. You are, and that's going to give you something to be proud of. You need to be proud of yourself. And I tell everybody when they're in my fitness class, whether they're a kid or an adult, when you leave here, I want you feeling proud of yourself. Like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Wow, I didn't know I was that strong. Wow, I didn't know I could get through that last set. And when you have that feeling of pride, you're developing that confidence, and that's what matters most, is your confidence, how you feel about yourself, not how everybody else feels about you, which, depends on your relationships and how you treat them, but how you feel about yourself determines all those things about how you treat other people, because people who lack confidence treat others poorly, because they don't believe in themselves. And if you're not investing in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, how could you treat other people with that respect or that kind of positivity? So always remember that, guys. Everybody has their own story, and nobody's perfect, and everybody doubts themselves in moments. But the people that are successful are the people who push through that doubt and continue to go on. And that's what courage is. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's knowing that you're scared, but you continue moving forward anyway. And I hope that, this video, opens up your eyes a little bit, or maybe you can take something away from it. And don't be afraid to give me a shout out on Facebook and send me a message, because I'd love to talk to you more about your story and how you feel about it, because networking is an amazing thing, and you can learn something from everybody. Always have that mindset that you can always grow, and it will be that much easier to obtain that confidence. So again, guys, getting back to it, you're looking to become more confident yourself. You're trying to work with your kids on becoming more confident. Again, constantly challenge them, constantly challenge yourself. If you're not, you're limiting yourself. Set goals and take action towards them. Make sure every day you're checking off that list of the things you need to do to get to where you want to be. And three, be consistent with those efforts. Constantly push yourself and hold yourself accountable for what you want to do or what you want to accomplish. I hope you guys had fun listening to me, because I know that I talk a lot. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a message. Have a good one, guys.